Bro, I know I can't be the only one who feels like they were genuinely raised by YouTube. And this sounds crazy, but like once I got to a certain age, I would say maybe 10 to that 12 range, middle school range, you didn't really watch TV. That wasn't a thing for our generation. You watched YouTube, or you might have watched Netflix, you might have watched some type of streaming service. You weren't really on regular TV shows like we were growing up as kids, watching SpongeBob and all the cartoons and stuff like that. But once you get to a certain age, it's like, yeah, if you don't have cable, like we didn't always have cable growing up, that just was a bill that my parents would be like, yeah, we're just not paying this month. So YouTube was always be the next best thing. And I feel like I was genuinely raised by YouTube. And I think the content that I consumed really helped me so much. I feel like without the content that I had growing up, because I watched a lot of stuff that I maybe shouldn't have been watching as a kid on YouTube that was like more for adults and stuff. But just over consuming that, and I know I made a video recently about how to stop over consuming, but the content I was consuming, I feel like was good for me because it was on YouTube and I was very intentional about what I was watching. So I knew that what I was consuming was going to help me later on in life. For example, I used to always watch a guy, his name was Steph is Cold. I think the worst thing about his content was how he viewed women, but it still taught me some interesting stuff when it came to his ideologies there. But also, aside from that, because I think that's the worst of what I consumed from him, but I want to talk about the good stuff. I learned about how important finances is, how important getting in shape is, and how important just focusing on yourself really is from watching that content over and over. And I know there's probably a lot of people who were raised by YouTube, and it's just like I feel like the people who watched that type of content are now very motivated in what they do. Also, another person that I watched was Kevin Samuels. It was just very interesting. Obviously, he had his big mainstream stuff that everybody's seen, where he would talk down on people and stuff like that. But that's not really what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is the soft skills and how important being able to talk to people is, and being able to maybe dress appropriately for different occasions. Being able, how important cologne is. Like, I think Kevin Samuels really made it cool for me to want to get into cologne, because he was like, this cologne to get you compliments, and this is how you wear this. This is why wearing a suit is so important. This is why having a nice wallet is nice, and just all these different things. And he was like, as a man, you got to take care of these things. You got to have a clean space. You want to have a clean apartment. You want to have a clean bathroom, all this. And I think now, as life has gotten older, it's just, I feel like those lessons that you learn from those people on YouTube has just shaped me into who I am. And I know I really can't be the only one like that. And then also, when it comes to the financial side, I used to watch a lot of Graham Stephan talking about the financial side of investing. And then you had Dave Ramsey also. Dave Ramsey was a big one, who the $1,000 rule, the baby steps, that's what it was. He had the baby steps. And I would just watch this content like it was nothing. Like I was 30 years old already. And now that I'm older and just learning about that stuff, it has just made me who I am now. And I think that person is a really good person. And so if I had any advice for anybody younger than me, it would be to consume content that is actually educational for you and not just entertainment 24/7. And I would preface this by saying I would even like you to watch that content more than you listen to music, because now when I'm riding around, I try to always listen to something that's teaching me something, and I can learn something very small, but it goes into my brain and I'm like, okay, cool. And I noticed this by people always say that I have like an old soul, or I seem older than I am, whatever. And I think that's just because I do know a lot for my age, I feel like, because I have watched people who's already done stuff that I want to accomplish maybe in my life. So if that would be my advice to you, just watch something that's going to educate you more than not. So if you're listening to rap music, I only really listen to rap music in the gym now, or when I'm with my friends, because they listen to rap music, so I'll play it or whatever. But if I'm in the gym, I'll listen to it just because it gives me that extra oomph. When I'm in the car, I'm usually typically listening to maybe some R&B if I want to listen to music, but also I typically will listen to those podcasts that I can learn something from, something so small. It might be, look out for this stock. Then I'll go research this stock, and then I'll be like, okay, this would be a good idea. Research this investment. research it, find it out. This is how you start a YouTube channel. Okay, let me figure this out. And I just, take little mental notes in my head, or sometimes I might jot something down real quick, take a note on my phone, and you're always learning a little something. And even if it's just like what's the saying, iron sharpens iron, so you just might already know something, but you keep consuming it, it reminds you of that. Like sometimes I'll listen to videos about getting in shape and staying lean, because it's like, now when I think about eating something I have no business eating that's going to push me farther from how I want to look, that video is on my mind. So it's just always subconsciously, nah, you don't need to be doing that. But that comes from the overconsumption of good content. And that's just something that I wanted to share with y'all, something that's helped me. And I know I can't be the only one who feels like they were raised on YouTube or raised by YouTube, because there's so many people like the Solomonatis. That's the entertainment side. Like, I know we all watch Solomonati, and we can just see how people even just talk because of him. Like, a lot of the stuff that I say when I'm joking around comes from the lingo that I learned from him. So yeah, man, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, man. It was just a different way to look at life and a different way to consume content, because we're going to consume something anyways. But if you could always be learning something from it, I think that'd be your best bet. If y'all enjoyed the video, please like, comment, subscribe, and we out.